More and more incidents are coming to light across Britain where women and children are being directly targeted by those who should have never been allowed into this country in the first place. Families, ordinary mums, and their kids are being left exposed to predators who act without fear because of the system seems to be interested in protecting them than us. This is shocking clip where you'll see a beast brazenly targeting a terrified mother right on her own doorstep with her children inside the home. A place that should be a sanctuary turned into a nightmare. And it doesn't end there. According to local reporters, this isn't even the first time. Britain is waking up to a simple truth. We cannot allow this continue. Mothers, children, families, they should be safe in their own homes and not on the streets. Yet, time and again, those in charge fail to act, while ordinary people are forced to watch the horror as these incidents stack up. Watch the video for yourself and then ask, how many more will it take before Britain says enough is enough? Before we get into the footage, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. Have a watch.
Okay. Fine.
No, get in.
You okay?
Caution it, please. What? Get in. Move? What are you doing? Don't even bother. Move. Don't get loose. I've got kids in here, don't.
Huh?
I've got kids.
You have kids?
I've got children in here. Can you go away, please? What you do? I've got cameras.
Good. Listen. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Just give us two. Just go close the door. There's two. Nothing to do with you, are there? There's nothing to do with you, are there?
In other news, Farage Patton has let Nigel Farage defense she doubted down to his 2-week plan to stop a small boats. Speaking openly at the party's conference, the reformed UK's MP declared that although the plan is dedicated, they cannot solve the problem of immigration crisis without it. Detailing his plan further, Mr. Farage has announced that given the mood of the nation, the legislation needs to go through as quickly as possible. He added, it takes 2 weeks once it gets to legislations in place. It takes 2 weeks to stop the boats. Quizzed by political correspondent Catherine Foster on the plans, MS Fokin said, I think what Farage is meaning is that Reform is the only party that's saying it will leave the ECHR and will repeal the Human Rights Bill and with no two factors alone. We then are in a position to start to send an illegal asylum seeker immigrants back. Criticizing the left-wing lawyers dealing with the appeal system of asylum seekers in Britain. The Reform MP added, what we have at the moment is a whole industry of left-wing lawyers making a fortune out of the endless appeals and an immigration, legal immigrant can do what they need to do, take legislations away. And it is a dramatic policy, it is a radical extreme policy, but we have to do it. Stressing that the immigrant crisis cannot be solved without such a radical action by Reform, Mr. Fandon explained we will create a British Bill of Rights to replace the Human Rights Bill, but unless we take the radical action, then we cannot solve this problem. And the fact is, the Labour government has said very clearly they will have never leave the ECHR. Kemi Balkan said they will leave the ECHR. But I can tell you that Nadine Dorres said that within the controversial party, there is no will to leave the ECHR, otherwise they would have done it. They had 14 years to do, deeming the legislation unfit for purpose, she stated. It's not fit for purpose anymore, and we need to reduce that sort of legislation because what's clipping and effectively bankrupting this country. Accused by Catherine on Mr. Farage's changing stance on whether women and children also will be deported from Britain if they enter illegally. Pokin said that the majority of illegal immigrants are fighting age men. MS Pokin said that you may get the odd woman and odd children on the boat. And half of the time I think is just BC to take picture. But the fact is the overwhelming majority are young fighting men. That's what we need to deal with. Hailing the hard work of Reform UK and the policy making, MS Merchant concluded that as a small party we are building and having a team that is creating the infrastructure to meet the demands of reform. But we are growing so fast, and what we need to do now is to get all these policies in place. But it's happening, and people are excited about it. A total of 890 arrests were made at the Palestine Actions protest in central London yesterday. The Metropolitan Police confirmed the number of 70 of those arrested on a suspicion of accusing police officers. Some 847 people were arrested under the Terrorism Act for showing support for prescribed group. 33 were arrested for those offences. The force said those arrested were processed at prisoners' reception point in Westminster area. Those who detailed could be confirmed were released on bail to appear at the police station at the future date. Individuals who refused to provide their details were found to have been arrested, while already on bail were taken to custody suits. The Counter-Terrorism Command will investigate the 578 people arrested in the Terrorism Act, and estimated about 150 people took part in the protest. With the force condemning intolerable abuse, says the officers suffered campaign group Defend Our Juries. On the DOJ said the rally was the picture of peaceful protest. Deputy Assistant Communism and Claire Smart, who led to the policies of operation, I would like to thank all officers involved in yesterday's operation for their professionalism and timeless work despite the level of abuse that they faced. The violence we have encountered during this operation was coordinated and carried out by a group of people, many wearing masks to conceal their identity, intent on creating as such a disorder as possible. Many for those individuals have now been arrested and have begun securing charges. The contract between the demonstration and the other protest we've policed yesterday, including Palestine Coalition March attended by around 20,000 people, was stark. You can express a support for cause without committing an offense under the Terrorism Act or discreting into violence and disorder. Many thousands of people do that in London every week. We have a duty of enforce the law without failure. If you advertise that you are intending to commit a crime, we have no option but to respond accordingly. Palestine Action was banned as a terror organization in July after the organization claimed responsibility for damage a pair of Walgrid planes in the FAA flights in Northern on June 20th. New Home Security Shabana Mohammed said she will be just as tough as a producer Yvette Cooper on Palestine Action Defense Security. John Halen said that the supporters of the organization would need a face consequence to avoid two-tire. Asked whether there would be a shift in the government policy or group, Mr. Halley said, Cooper and I expect her to defend the decision of the government that taken on Palestine Action because what some of its members are responsible and were planning. The Home Office plans to appeal the High Court ruling that permits Hunda Hamouri, co-founder of Palestine Actions, to challenge the government's ban on the group. MS Amouri's legal action was prompted by the Home Security Yvette Cooper's decision to classify the group. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.